Hello and welcome to Altenew's July release Video Hop. My name is Aditi and today I am going to be creating using the new release Sled and showing you how I layer it all together. Now this is a video hop, which means that you can hop along, visit every designer's YouTube video, leave a comment and enter to win some fabulous prizes. I have die cut the layers of the sleigh once and I have die cut the poinsettias 3 times as well as the presents 3 times just to give me more elements for my composition. I begin with the redwood ink that I ink blend on the first 2 layers of the sleigh using my mini blending brush. So I have all the elements laid out on the 9x12 sticky grid mat in the order of assembly and it makes it easy to ink blend. The next layer is ink blended with toasted mauve and then I bring in Berrylicious to ink blend the sides of the seat itself. To add a pop of dark, I am going ahead with the darkest color in this set, which is acai berry, and adding that to the base of the seat. So here I have a nice fusion of these pinkish browns and a deeper berry color for my sleigh. Now for the poinsettias, I begin ink blending using rouge. I add rouge as the base layer on all the layers of the petals of the poinsettia. And then I go in with crimson to brighten and add vibrance to the center of these. So that way I have the tips of the petals lighter and I have more vibrance at the center of the poinsettias. So I repeat that on all the layers, just keeping it mostly similar, not adding different amount of shading when it comes to wearing the layers. I then bring in citronella on the cushion of the sleigh and I also add it to one of the presents just to tie it all in together. I use green gold for the bow that goes on the present. Next up, I am going to bring in a little more brown, so pumpkin pie for the branchy foliage elements there. And for a pop-up contrast on the presents, I'm using Teal Cave and Galactic Stream. Once that's done, I then move to Hunter Green to add green onto the leaves that will be tucked under the poinsettias. I use mid yellow for the tiny flowers and I'm not using any of the flower center dyes because I have some other ideas in mind. Now to put it all together, I simply follow the keyhole system. I have adhered layer 2 over layer 1 and it's important to note that the front arch of layer 2 needs to be held up constantly when you're adhering the other layers just so that that stays in the front, creating that dimensional look that we want to achieve. Now the keyhole system absolutely makes it easy to put these elements together, and of course you can follow the layering guide at the back of the product packaging. I think that is very handy to have right next to you, and once you've played with a set at least one time, I think it just becomes easy to layer it all together when you work with it the next time. A set like this I think is very good for creating multiple cards. So you could use colored cardstock and die cut all your layers, and you could do that multiple times and then you can sit and adhere the layers to put it all together. Those of you who regularly watch my videos, you know I love ink blending because I feel like that brings in so much depth and shadow, and that's why I chose to stick to ink blending. But yes, definitely if I was mass producing cards using this die, I would be using colored cardstock because that makes it super easy to create this beautiful sleigh with all the elements and create multiple cards for the holiday season. So I have my sleigh assembled right there and I'm just tucking in the cushion underneath, trying to figure out the orientation of how that needs to go. And once I have that down in place, I just use liquid glue and tuck it right in and have that there. Now, in this video, I am going to be showing you how I put together the layers of the flowers and the presents just once because the system is pretty much the same. So I will finish assembling the remaining off camera once I have shown you how I do one of them. So don't worry about the flower centers. Like I said, there is something exciting I have in mind for them. and I am just quickly going to move on and show you how I put together the three layers of the present. So there's just the top layer that goes over the box, and then that cute little bow that adds a nice accent onto our presents. So with all of that done, our elements are now ready. I have used the Wanderlust 3D embossing folder to emboss an A2 white panel. I think this is so beautiful because it just shows where all the presents are going to be taken to around the world. Now, I'm using Puny Gold Stellar Sequence, and here's the twist. I'm using two sizes to add flower centers to the poinsettias as well as those tiny flowers, and I think this just adds the perfect amount of bling I need for this card. And that's the reason why I didn't worry about holding on to those tiny die cuts. It was just easy to accentuate them with the stellar sequence, and just another way of using your sequence. I am using the sleigh ride greetings for my sentiment. So I've already die cut that. And now it's all about composition. So I'm going to first begin by putting the sleigh in place, and I'm using the thickest instant dimension foam tape because it just gives me more depth and layer, and I can then start tucking in the poinsettias all around. So once I have the placement for the sleigh itself, all I do is see where I like the poinsettias and start using liquid glue. And for some of them, I still go ahead and use dimension foam tape because then it creates a variety in the depth and dimension between the elements itself. And then it's all about tucking in the foliage elements. So the leaves just go underneath the flowers, and then I bring in those foliage branches, tuck all of those underneath in, and it's just to create a fuller composition and building a scene basically. You can use the sleigh as is. Now you'll notice I have glued the presents right inside the sleigh there, and I have added my sentiment and just tucking in the tiny flowers wherever I feel I need to fill in the gaps to create a full composition. Now, once that's done, I'm bringing back my sequence and adding that just near the sentiment to kind of tie it in with all the sequence that I have on the right side and just balancing it on the left side as well. So once that's done, I just need to add pop of splatter. I'm using my metallic paints and adding a variety of colors for the splatter to just create a nice metallic shimmery splatter effect for this card. With that done, this card comes to a completion, and I really hope that this has given you some ideas for your next card making. Um, Again, just a reminder, this is a hop, so do hop along and watch every creator's video to enter the fabulous giveaway. Until the next time, take care and bye-bye.